Hello everyone. So today we are going to be speaking about 3 factors to consider in choosing a life partner.
Yeah, 3 factors to consider in choosing your life
partner. Yeah.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel, guys.
Yes, welcome, guys.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares.
Yeah.
Thank you for your comments too. We love you. God bless you. And if you are joining us for the first time, please subscribe, watch to the end, and invite your friends also. We love you.
Alright, so basically in choosing a life partner, there are 3 things that you must consider. So the very first factor to actually consider is the God factor.
Yeah.
In this factor, yes, it is the part of them all, you understand? So this factor is very important because in everything in life, God is actually the beginning and the end. So that means that as you carry out your relationship, as you are looking for a life partner, it is very important that you consider God, the place of God. Where does God stand in that relationship? As you are going into that relationship, where do you find God? Where is God there? Are you taking God and putting him aside and say that God, stay in this place first, then let me now have this relationship with this person?
When I'm true,
then
if I like the person, I'll come and tell you. If I don't like the person, I will discard the person before I come. You get? Or let me just chop small breakfast. You know, some of us actually like to chop small breakfast before we involve God in what we are doing.
Exactly. Maybe when you now chop breakfast, you will now be wise and say, okay.
You now remember that you actually kept God somewhere. Let me go back and meet God.
So the reason is because we do not involve God in the first place. But interestingly, there are cases whereby involving God does not secure you. It's not an insurance to heartbreak. It does not mean that if you involve God that you are not going to have your heart broken. Actually, no. There are cases whereby when you even involve God, you find your heart being broken. But still, it is meaningful because you know that God is involved in the whole process.
And it's actually the one that is
directing exactly on what to do.
Because basically, I feel like you don't just see someone and say, oh, I saw this person pass and I like it, and then you go back to God and say, God, I saw this person. You actually, try to be friends with that person, know who that person is before you start talking to God and say, okay, God, not going into a relationship. This is on a friendship base.
Exactly. Finding out about the person, knowing their likes, their dislikes, and then
what their own stand to is about God.
Exactly. Very, very important, because there are cases whereby you go into a relationship with somebody and the person becomes a project for you. You are the one, you know God yourself. But this person, you know that this person obviously knows nothing about God. I have no relationship with God.
Of course, the person will be shouting Jesus.
No, of course.
And be going to church.
Everywhere.
But when it comes to a personal relationship,
they will not miss church.
But
that personal relationship
is not there.
It's not there. So at the end of the day, you feel that they will now become a pet project. In fact, not a pet project for you. They become a main project because you find yourself covering for yourself and covering for them, always praying for them, interceding for them.
It's actually be driving you down.
Exactly. It will be dampening your spirit because the frequency that you are working on is different from the frequency they are operating on. But when there is a unison of relationship with God, God is involved in the first place. In fact, in all the places, God is involved at every moment, at every point in time. Then definitely everything will go orderly. Because you know that yes, God is involved in the whole situation. So that God factor is actually very, very important.
Very important.
Because and that reminds I think in our own relationship also the same thing also came into play. During when we started out our relationship, we were very intentional about bringing
what
God has to say. Because personally, I had some issues because for the past relationship that I was in, seemed to be like I was not so intentional about them. I just wanted to be in a relationship. So and at the end of the day, in getting out of that relationship, my exit from that relationship, the heartbreak was just it was absurd. It was abnormal actually. And so I told myself that no, any other relationship that I'm going to be going into, I have to be very, very intentional about it. And that is the reason why when our relationship started, anyway, that one is another story for another day. But when the relationship started, we made sure that I personally made sure that God was involved.
And I did too.
Yes.
We are saying I did.
No, I personally, in my own part, that's what I mean. In my part, I made sure that I was intentional about God, the place of God in the relationship, and she also should be in the best position to actually
the truth is, when you involve God, actually, it helps you. Even when heartbreak eventually comes, there's this comfort that you find.
You feel exactly.
Like it's from God. God understands. God is involved in this. There are actually some relationship that you're already in, and God is saying you have to quit it.
True.
So far it is God. I used to tell people, I say, the will of God is hard. It is tough. But since you are a child of God, you have to follow the will of God.
Stuff was possible.
If the will of God is not that person you are eyeing, it's not that fine boy, it's not that pretty girl, then you have to quit it. Because if God is not in it, what are you trying to do? Marriage is not I love you, and then when God is not saying anything. So basically, to me, if God is not there, if God is not saying yes to it, then it's a no.
Yes, because there's going to be a very big problem in the whole relationship. And talking about that brings to place the question of when Jesus Christ said that carry your cross and follow me. So that means that you being in a relationship and you are bringing God in it. That means that there are cases whereby you find upheavals, trouble, tribulation, stress, worries, cares, anxiety. All of those things may come up. But when you are intentional about God being in that relationship, especially both parties are intentional about God being in that, it is easy to navigate, to solve problems, to solve disappointments, to solve troubles, to solve shame, to solve so many things. In fact, there are so many troubles that can be easily resolved.
Because it's actually very easy for you to go back to God and say, Baba, now you say make I did this thing.
If what you just say now, I actually did a whole lot of this. Because there were cases whereby
Baba, now you send me. But if Baba don't send you don't feel go meet and say how now.
Exactly. You can't.
So I feel the God factor is very, 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 very important.
So then the second factor is the romantic attraction factor. We're allowed to speak on that.
Why?
Yes,
it's very important.
Very important.
If you are not romantically attracted to your partner, quit it. Actually, if your partner does not give you butterflies
in your tummy,
quit it. Because there are times that to be one of the things that will be keeping you going.
Yeah, that's true.
God is keeping you going.
Yes.
Romantic attraction will help you spicing
up your
marriage. So
if
you are with the person and there is nothing that is attracting that person to
you,
please just stop.
Because in the long run,
just stop. Romantic attraction actually matters. This is a topic that people don't talk about. When you say will of God, yes, it is good. Are you guys sexually attracted? Do you see this person as someone that you are sexually attracted to? If not, please.
Because there will be a whole lot of romance in the relationship.
Yes.
And if one of either party is actually lacking in that romance, it becomes a problem because the other party will want to go outside to get themselves satisfied. Because we all humans, we are actually romantic beings, and so since we are romantic in our nature, we always crave for a satisfaction of that
even
romance.
Even if they don't go out, it actually kills the marriage.
Actually,
it kills it. And what's there?
What is the sweetness?
You will not say you are coming together to pray when you know that in that other side you are not also effective. It's just as if you are an hypocrite.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not, if you are not attracted to each other, it affects a lot of people, a whole lot of people, because many people have been misled about religious. It's just, is he a pastor? Does he pray very well? Yes, it is important, but that other attraction
that you get
is also important as well. Please.
But does this mean that you should indulge in the sexual
We're not saying
relationship
We're not
with
saying that.
your partner before getting married.
No,
We are not actually saying that.
we're not saying that.
We are not saying that.
From experience, it's not advisable.
It's not advisable actually.
At all.
But without going into sexual interaction or intercourse with somebody like your partner, naturally you are romantically attracted to the partner, and so it does not necessarily mean that there has to be a sexual
That's it. The case
relationship
of Jacob and Rachel.
Exactly.
When he saw her, he was attracted. He loved
physically
her.
attracted to her
It is
without even
important.
going into any form of.
And it's because of that attraction that this man had to work 7 years for her. Like, even when he was deceived, he worked extra 7 years. It is very important.
14 years, can you do it? But that is actually the power of love. And that is also the power, not just love, that is also the power of romantic attraction, because he was romantically attracted
to her also.
So that is actually the importance of romantic.
So we'll be
attraction.
moving to the
third factor.
factor,
The third factor, which
which
is
is commitment.
commitment.
You see, all these factors, they need each other.
They need each other.
There's none that is not important.
You can't choose one and then say, okay, this one, you keep them
They
aside.
have to work hand in hand with each other.
Yes.
Now, where does this commitment come to play? Remember our previous video where you guys met us, we told you about ourselves, and I mentioned how his smile brightens up
The smile.
don't confuse me. How his smile brightens up the community, how he said my eye attracted him. If you look at it, look at my eyes now. It's a bit clear. I don't really have that dark eyes. Now, also imagine him. Probably the voice that is making me all mushy now becomes cranky or something. Or his smile changes. Does that mean I will leave you? That is where commitment comes to play. If you claim you love somebody, have it at the back of your mind that this is a lifetime commitment. Something might happen. So if you are not ready to be committed for a better, for worse situation,
just
do not
stay away.
Marriage is not for
It's not for everybody, actually.
No,
marriage is not for everybody.
Well,
marriage is
me,
not
I
for
don't
everybody.
believe. I believe you will find your partner.
What do you guys think? Do you think marriage is for everybody?
I believe you will find your partner. So for me, if you know that you are not ready to be committed, don't bother getting married. Okay, something happened, his voice becomes this, it's that voice, because of that voice I loved you, I can't do it. No, I already told him I loved him. And I actually had to see beneath those physical things. Beyond it, sorry. I had to see beyond the physical.
And transcend to the soul of that person, the spirit of that person, who that person is. Look at the attributes of that person, how they communicate, the relationship.
Yeah, and with the God factor, I am rest assured that no, this is my man.
Yes.
And I am ready to be committed. So commitment is actually way important. Very, very important
actually. Because with commitment, you find that okay, the two parties are able to marry everything together.
Yeah.
Despite no matter whatever it is that happens, you have that in your heart that okay, yes, I'm committed to this person. I have chosen.
Yeah.
It is my will. Nobody enforced me.
Yeah.
It was my willfulness, out of my own willfulness, that I chose that okay, this person, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. And so with that commitment, despite whatever it is that happens, because life brings things in different ways. So despite whatever it is that happens, you are saying that this person, I want to continue with this person, no matter what. And that is what commitment means. And so when you look at these three factors, God factor, the romantic factor, and the commitment factor, these three things are actually what builds love together. This is what holds a relationship. Without either of these three things, then sorry.
There's no life partner.
The foundation is not laid on solid rock.
Yes,
But once it's actually going to be shaky. But once these three things are satisfied, these three factors, smooth sailing, you are good to go. Even though when things comes up or there are problems, tribulation, you'll be able to weather the storm and you will be fine. You will be fine.
So please, if you've joined us to this moment, subscribe. Please subscribe. And thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
We hope you've learned a thing or two
from
us today. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you.
See you now.
Looking forward,
video.
I love you.
Love you guys.
See you.